Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dragon Talk. I am Greg Tito, and wait, you're not Shelly.
No, I wish. Are you kidding me?
She's the coolest.
I'm Shelly Mazanoble, and I'm the brand manager of Avalon Hill Games. No, I'm Kate Welch.
You are.
But Shelly is my hero.
She's.
Do you know she and I get to go on tour together?
Yes. This is exciting.
Am I allowed to talk about this?
I mean, conceptually.
All right. Well,
Yes.
we're going on tour.
Yes.
And when she told me, she was like, dude, you and I are going on tour for this thing. And I was like, oh my God, we're going to get so many tattoos. Instantly, that was my first thought. Like, okay, well, I got to plan on all these drunk tattoos I'm going to get with
You're
Shelly.
like, which ones? I want to at least have a framework so that we can have the right concept.
Exactly.
going
Well,
forward.
they got to match. They got to be related.
Right.
So
Luckily, you have a designer in-house who can help you out.
at least one.
At least one.
God, if Emmy would design me a tattoo.
I know.
Everybody tell Emmy Tanji to design me a tattoo.
Just design tattoos in general, Emmy.
She's the one
more
who
tattoos.
she does all of our extra life stuff. Anytime you've ever seen something come out of Dungeons and Dragons that was cute in any way, that was Emmy. She is amazing.
Even things that aren't cute. She does a lot of nasty stuff with, like, the layout and
Yeah,
the
she
pictures and all the
does.
things.
Yeah.
Those splotches
Yep.
in cursive strahd.
Yeah.
That was all Emmy.
Yep. She's disgusting. She's the best. She's this tiny little Hawaiian goddess. And she just brings joy and sunshine into everyone's life. I think
She really does.
I think she has a flu right now. So everybody, she's CC Cakes on Twitter.
Yes.
Everybody go
Cakes.
wish her a happier life.
She's
than,
in the
than
Kate
flu
Welch
right now.
of
Yeah.
a school of
Well,
Twitter handles.
Because maybe she wanted this Twitter handle Cakes, right? And she's like, it's taken. So she adds another C. That one's taken too. Add another S, taken. You just keep going. You keep spreading it out. There are 3 other Kate Welches on Twitter, which is why I have the one with the 4 H's, because all of those were taken.
And you are a 4-H in the military. If you were to be getting your draft card, you'd
absolutely.
be a 4-H.
And the 4 H's stand for happy, healthy, hungry,
Harrowing?
and harrowing. Dude, that is me.
That's you. That's your 4-H's.
Anyway, that's my intro.
That's a T-shirt that Demi is going to design for you now and
yes.
be sold for Extra Life.
Excellent.
Join the 4-H's.
the 4-H club. So this is Dragon Talk? This
This
what
is
we
Dragon
do?
Talk. This is what
All
we
right.
do. We joke. We make each other laugh. We occasionally record stuff for the intros and outros of the podcast.
Okay.
Today we're talking to Coley Chani.
I know.
On interviews.
I'm so excited. She's been in the office at least once, and she was one of the folks doing the media circuit during the descent.
She
too,
was.
I think she was doing that for either Forbes or LinkedIn.
Correct.
But yeah, she's going to be here at 1, right?
She is.
And we're going to interview her. She's done so much cool material about Dungeons and Dragons and how you can. She seems to be this like mogul in the LinkedIn online business world.
Right.
And so a lot of her material about Dungeons and Dragons tends to be related to like how Dungeons and Dragons can make you a great leader, or like how you can use lessons from D&D in the workplace, and it's great. I really
wait
love
to
it.
pick her brain on all
Yeah,
that stuff. Because,
yeah.
I mean, we use it here in the workplace, obviously, but like, can you imagine being at like, we sell widgets. Let's play
Right.
D&D so that we can work better as a team, more cohesively, and learn each other's strengths and weaknesses. Like, it's just, I want this happening in every conference room in America and the world and intergalactically.
We do have magic spin down D20s.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're called. I'm sorry. I'm
The
a
spin
magic
down
noob.
D20s. That's
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. We have those in every room.
Yes.
So we do have the potential to use those a lot more in our meeting space. So let's say, for instance, you and I are in a room.
Mm-hmm.
You're pitching some BS to me. And I'm like, oh, I'm not buying it. Give me a persuasion check, And then you roll really high. And I'm like, all right, well, Greg's idea is great. Turns out we're going to put ketchup in every box.
Not like packets or the bottle, but actual ketchup.
Yeah, we're just going to squirt it in there.
You want to hear a funny story that's somewhat related to putting food products in mailers and marketing?
Absolutely.
I was producing a short film. It was called The Barista, so it was all about coffee, and like we used the legend
When was
of coffee.
this?
This was in 2003, 2004.
Was this in your escapist days?
It was pre that. It was in my
Pre-escapist?
like trying to be an artist in New York City days.
Oh.
And we produced this short film, and we were trying to raise money, and we created this whole mailer. We did this whole thing. It was all about the history of coffee and how it was interesting, blah, blah, blah. Please give us money. And we had this great idea. We're like, what if we put like 3 coffee beans in each envelope they were sending out?
So you get the scent.
So you get the scent of coffee when you
Brilliant.
open it up, and you just would want to throw money at us.
Yeah.
Especially if you're relatives who don't have any money. But
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that they had that, right? When you process a letter, it goes through a machine and it crushes up things. And then so all of a sudden people were like, my letter has black powder in it. What is it? And it was also, 2003 wasn't that far after 2001, which had a lot of the anthrax things being mailed around too.
No.
So most of our marketing materials got like refused at the post offices because they had black powder inside them from the coffee beans that got ground in the process of being delivered. Yeah.
Did you ever think like, what if these get ground up in the mail? What will we do? Maybe we should put them in a protective container of some kind.
Yeah, no. Didn't
None
think
of
any of
that,
that.
huh?
Yeah. Because we were young and, 23.
I will say though, because they got ground up, the people who got those envelopes and opened them, the coffee smell would have been intense.
It would have worked, right?
It would have worked even better than you had planned.
If only we had received as much funding as we needed.
Thanks, terrorists.
For screwing up coffee-based marketing schemes.
Seriously.
From little kids in New York City. How dare you?
2003?
Yeah.
You weren't that little a kid.
I know, I really wasn't. I was like 24, just getting married. No, I guess I was 25 at that point, so. Yeah.
Oh, you got married young.
I did.
Well
yeah,
done.
I know. Everyone in New York was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Who is this person? I'm like, she's great.
She's great. She's my person.
She's my person.
And they got a little baby.
And then we got babies.
How
many years after that.
How old are your babies?
8 and 6.
Okay.
So they're not babies anymore. They're like full-on kids.
Oh yeah. Well, they're babies.
They ride bikes. They discover monsters that are coming through portals, and they try to defeat them.
Yes.
Yeah. They're like right in that age.
That's awesome.
I know. Right.
Very cool.
I'm watching the Stranger Things now, and it's like, oh man, this is like looking into the future.
I'm watching the Stranger Things on the Netflix.
Hello, fellow kids. How are you? Want to see my skateboard tricks?
Yeah, definitely.
They're really good. I can ollie.
Ollie, it's the only one I know. Damn it.
I can do a
I was
360.
going to name all the skateboard tricks that I knew. You beat me to it.
You're like, I played Tony Hawk once. I know what those terms are.
Yeah, I did a Tony Hawk. I remember the songs from the Tony Hawk games. So those were extremely good. They make me felt like I would listen to, what was it, Goldfinger, I think was one of the ones. Goldfinger, yeah. I got really into Goldfinger thanks to Tony Hawk. So, but did not learn a lot of skateboard tricks.
Are you, in all of your travels and all the tours that you've been on, do you think you'll be like Tony Hawk, where people are like, you look like someone that I know?
It already happens.
It already happens?
Yeah. It's fairly rare day to day. You must get this too, right? Like people were like at conventions, especially at nerd stuff. They're like, hey, wait, who are you? And I tell them, I'm like, I'm Tony Hawk.
Can't you tell from the skateboard that I'm always carrying with me?
Then
Fellow kids.
I play Goldfinger and I ollie on out of there.
All right, this makes sense. No, to answer your question, no, that does not happen to me as often as you think. At the conventions and stuff, it does, but the only time that happened recently was I was at an axe throwing place in Brooklyn, and he had a Death Saves sticker on his coffee mug or something like that. I was like, oh, cool, nice, good sticker. And he happened to just look at my shirt, and I had one of the pink Death Save shirts from the most recent batch of stuff that they had done. He's like, oh, and then I saw him look at me a little bit closer. And then by the end of the session, he's like, can we get a picture together? I love Dragon Talk.
That's really weird because that happened to me at an axe throwing place in Brooklyn.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it the same one?
It might have been. It was a, I don't know Brooklyn at all, but they've got axe throwing places all over the place, I'm sure.
Right.
However, what happened was I went.
Maybe it was the same guy.
I went next. It was across the street from it. There was this taco place, and I had run across the street to get tacos, and these 3 women were looking at me, and I was like, yeah, I look good. And then one of them came over. She was like, are you Rosie Beestinger? And I was like, yeah!
That's awesome.
And she got pictures with me. She was super sweet. It was awesome. She was like, I was talking to my friends, and I wasn't sure it was you.
That's awesome that they didn't say, like, are you Kay Welch? But they're like, no, are you Rosie Beestinger?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's how it goes every time. It's never Kay Welch. It happened to me in Portland once. I was getting brunch with my brother, and I was leaving the restaurant, and this guy at a table goes, what's up, Rosie? And I was like, hey, and I high-fived him. I just left. My brother's like, who was that guy? I was like, I don't know.
He's a fan.
Yeah.
Happens to Gene Simmons and
cool.
me.
Yeah, D&D fans are very cool. They're not crazy.
No.
So
They just wanna-
they're just chill. Yeah.
Because, I mean, even though we talk a lot about how it's growing in the mainstream stuff, there is still like a inner club feel to it, right? So that person probably just like, hey, I just high-fived Rosie B. Stinger.
Yeah.
But doesn't want to be like, oh my God, I can't believe it. It's my, like they're fans of like Tom Cruise or something like that, right? Like it's the level of like.
I'm no Tom Cruise, is what you're saying. Yeah.
I mean,
know.
close.
I get it.
I mean, by the time.
If I had, he's got those teeth that are like off center, so he's got like one front tooth. Ugh, I wish I could be. I wish I could just have that one front tooth, and I could be famous. and be a crazy Scientologist.
I wish I had an alien inside me.
We can arrange something, I'm sure, Greg.
That's for a different show. Should we do our intros?
Yeah, tell me what I'm supposed to do. I don't know what I'm doing here.
I don't know necessarily, but you're doing a great job. We are going to talk, basically what we just did, but like with a little bit more marketing heavy stuff about what's happening with Dungeons and Dragons World, getting people excited about Descent into Avernus, as well as our interview with Coley Chani. Chan?
I think it's Chan. Yeah. No.
Not this time.
Says Dragon Talk Goldie Chan 89. It is beautifully formatted, though. This is really
/rehired because I couldn't do anything without these amazing sheets.
Oh, is it Lisa that's putting these
Lisa
together?
Carr, different Lisa.
Oh, Lisa Carr. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this 360 PR person?
No, it's Ryan's amazing person helping out with doing this.
Nice. Thanks, Lisa. Well done.
Yay, Lisa.
Anyway.
All right. So yeah, let's do our intro.
Okay.
You ready? Are you recording there, Ryan? I love hearing those clicks. You got a question though?
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask if you want to talk about what's happening with me Sunday through Tuesday.
Yeah, we can.
We can talk about what's happening. We just can't talk about a lot of detail. That's what
exactly.
That's what they were saying.
That's what I took away from that too.
Okay.
All right. So you guys don't know what we're talking about. So it'll be a surprise to you.
Surprise. Stay
as
tuned.
We do this.
Stay tuned for news about me and my life.
Welcome to Dragon Talk.
We got a live studio audience here in beautiful, sunny Santa Monica, California.
We'll be back in 2 and 2. I am Greg Tito, and today I am joined by Kate Welch.
You are.
Hi, Kate.
That's me. Hi.
Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm so happy to be your substitute, Shelley.
You are a wonderful...
I am a low-rent Shelley, and that is I want that on my tombstone.
Low-rent Shelley was born here.
Poor man's Shelley Mazanoble.
No, not at all. You're a rich man's Shelley. No, wait, that doesn't make any sense. But we're happy to be here. Shelley's, of course, on vacation, doing things that normal people do during the summertime.
Going to New York.
Watermelon, swimming in the pools, getting a tan. Right now, she's getting a tan right now.
She better be wearing sunscreen.
She better be wearing sunscreen, or
That's
else.
not a joke. Everybody wears sunscreen. Go put sunscreen on right now. Pause this show.
Go put it on, just in case you get some sun on you.
There could be rays coming in. You don't know.
Well, you're definitely going to need sunscreen when you go to Avernus, right? Like, because there is a nonstop... No, never mind. You're looking at me like that was the worst segue ever made by humans.
Well, I don't know what level the sun shines down in Avernus. It seems to be this
you're
sort
the
of
game designer, Kate. You're supposed to know these things.
Good Lord. Okay,
UV
fine.
light blasting in your eyes.
There's no sun. There is no sun in Avernus. The clouds are a morass of red and gray and orange boiling over this endless plain of devastation. But above you, you can see no star. You can see no sun. No radiation touches you. This is an unnatural place, unlike anything you've ever experienced before. How's that, Greg?
That was amazing. Can we just do the entire show like that?
Yeah, we can.
You can. You don't even need me. Just take care of it. That sounds like you don't need sunscreen in Avernus, is what you're trying to say.
No, you're good.
or in a fantasy realm altogether. We don't really cover that in the rules.
That's
the fact
true.
that you might get sunburn and get like levels of exhaustion.
I feel like that's a level of crunchiness that we probably don't want to get to in Dungeons and Dragons. But in your home game, if you'd like to introduce the concept of radiation burns that do cause levels of exhaustion and perhaps some kind of, I don't know, chronic skin disease, you're welcome to.
That sounds like Gamma World territory there, too.
It might be. Yeah.
I like it. But anyway, my horrible segue aside, Descent into Avernus is coming out on September 17th.
Yay! Is it that soon?
Yes.
Holy crap.
It's like, as we're recording this, it's like a month and a week away.
Oh,
which
look at
is
that cover.
crazy to think about. It's an amazing cover. All that hellscape that you were just describing is
there you
depicted on this cover. Hey, who painted that?
Well, the one on the left, the one depicting Zariel reaching for her sword, was painted by one of our most popular cover illustrators, Tyler Jacobson.
I would say he is the most popular, at least amongst people in this room.
At least amongst people in this room who are engaged to be married to him, yes. And then the other one is...
Our wedding is... I can't wait. Me and
so
Tyler.
happy for you two.
I know. He's really cute.
The other cover is Hydra74, of course, who does lots of our alt covers at this point and is just a masterful graphic designer. I really, really like his style.
I love that image. It works really well as a T-shirt. We gave away T-shirts like that.
And a tote bag.
At D&D, and a tote bag, yes. I gave those T-shirts to young visitors in my house, and they were so excited.
Yay.
He wore it. He wanted to wear it like both to bed and to going out the next day, and then wear it again, and then wear it again. He just wanted it all the time.
Speaking of someone who has a skull tattooed on her chest, having a T-shirt with a skull on it is like the next best option.
Exactly, right? You have layers.
Can people actually buy those shirts anywhere, or were they just the swag?
Cannot. Those are just swag that we gave away.
Nice.
You have to come to the office, like Goldie Chan, our interview for this Dragon Talk. She will definitely be getting a Descent into Avernus shirt.
Yes,
We'll
she's going to look so good in it, too.
She is going to look good. She's a fantastic member of the D&D community, cosplay community, as well as having a whole LinkedIn video career, making videos for that platform as well as on Forbes, and we can't wait to pick her brain on a number of topics.
She apparently worked as a social media director for Critical Role, too.
I know.
Which I didn't realize.
That's pretty exciting.
This is a hustler. She's hustling.
If you were going to put her in a class,
that
would be the class.
Yeah,
the hustler class.
Character class, hustler.
Now we have to design
that's
it.
That's a subclass of the rogue, I think.
Yeah, I would say that.
I think so.
Yeah. I think most content creators in today's like new media world would be hustlers.
Yeah, probably so.
I like that. Now I want to make a bard that's a hustler, though.
All right.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. So yeah, we talked about Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus, September 17th. Also coming out that day is Battle for Baldur's Gate, the Dungeon Mayhem expansion, which I'm really excited about.
Is this our first Dungeon Mayhem expansion?
It is the first expansion, yes.
That is so cool.
2 new characters will be added to the 4 decks you get in the original
Are we allowed to say
game.
which characters they are?
Yes, we are.
Which characters? I know one of them is Jahira.
The shape-shifting druid from Baldur's Gate series, who you have known well from Welch's Game Juice.
Oh, yeah. Jahira has, in my latest save, she's the only one who can resurrect people, and she's dead. So I'm trucking through a very difficult dungeon right now without her, and I miss her so much.
Like, come back to us.
Yeah. So we got Jahira, and then the other
Minsk and Boo. One character deck, 2 characters, obviously, but they are super fun. The artwork is extremely evocative, different from the original artwork. More
cool. New artist.
Cool, yeah.
Cool. That's awesome.
And now I need to scroll to where the name of the artist is so that I can actually shout them out.
We've got the art.
There's the art being shown right there.
Oh, it's so cute.
Yes.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, Jahira is a druid. Minsk and Boo. Boo is a ranger who keeps Minsk as a pet, I believe. Is that correct?
That is correct. But he's a miniature
miniature giant space hamster with a ranger as a pet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love it. The artist is Jake Parker, who is the founder of the art challenge you might have seen, Inktober. Have you ever seen Inktober?
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the one who started that whole thing. So
that's a huge deal.
It is. I always get excited, as Shelley was saying, we get excited just for October popping up on our Twitter feeds and being like, whoa, look at that amazing thing.
So much good stuff comes up from that.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
awesome.
So we'll be talking to him as we get closer to when that is out, as well as in Inktober. So that'll be fairly fantastic. What else is coming down the pipe? Well, we've got some things we haven't announced yet.
Let's do it.
One thing that we have announced that you were alluding to earlier. Well, first, before we move off of Descent into Avernus, you've got a thing going on this weekend.
I do. Okay, let me see if I got to talk about it in the right way. So we were invited by IGN to come down to their headquarters in San Francisco. They've just built some cool new video studios, and they invited me to come DM a game for them. Well, I'll be clear. They invited Chris Perkins. And I was invited to be a player, and Chris Perkins said, no, thank you. And so they were like, all right, well, I guess Kate could DM it. So I'm DMing an Avernus game down there for a bunch of folks at IGN and get to see their headquarters and take a tour and meet all of them. One of the outlets that came to the Descent to interview us was IGN.
Yeah.
And so I got to meet a couple of those folks, one of them being John Borba, who's the one who is kind of coordinating this whole thing, and they were just peaches. They are so kind and so cool. I don't think IGN has done a lot of live play D&D content, so I don't exactly know what they're going to do with this game, but we'll see. It's going to be fun.
It's exciting too because IGN has been this institution in the video game world for such a long time.
I'm kind of geeking out about it.
Yeah.
Like IGN has always been this pinnacle of like, that's where you go for game reviews and previews and everything, news. It was always a stop for me, especially when I was a video game developer.
Right.
IGN coverage was a really, really big deal. So I'm definitely geeking out about going to IGN.
And I love that they're delving more into tabletop.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it more when Coley Chan is here.
We'll ask her if it's Sean or Chan.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
The fact that like the tabletop role-playing genre is getting more traction amongst mainstream people, and there's like this no longer this separation between like what's video game content, what's tabletop content, and IGN wanting to invite you to their offices and be a part of this is a big like just stepping stone, I think.
It's huge. I'm really, really excited.
Yeah.
I hope it goes well and I do a good job and they want to invite us back.
All of those things will occur, I'm sure. Do you want to talk about who's traveling with you? Is that a secret?
Well, one of the players at my table for this game will be the aforementioned Tyler Jacobson, your fiance. And
I let him go. I thought it was cool that he needed to go with you.
That's really, thank you very much. You can trust us. But no, because he did the cover illustration, he is also, little known fact, very new to 5th edition as a player.
Yeah.
So although he's been doing D&D illustrations for us, countless of them for a decade.
Right. He's done the Player's Handbook cover that we know and love, the Dungeon Master's Guide.
Yep. He did.
The DM screen reincarnated.
Yep. The giant red dragon DM screen, the Tales from the Yawning Portal, and Descent into Avernus, and Volo's Guide. He's done a ton. And that's just 5th edition. He's also done a crap load of 4th edition work too. But since he did this cover, and he also just recently this week played 5th edition with me for the very first time. He'd never played it before. He was a 2nd edition kid.
Yeah.
And so he played it and he was brilliant. And so he has agreed to play it at the table and charm everyone.
That's going to be a real treat.
So good.
That's going to be a real treat for folks.
He gets nervous around cameras, and I'm just like, just pretend they're not there.
Yeah.
Or pretend they are.
And be
just
nervous.
Talk right into them and address the people at home.
That's the way to do it, right?
That's
Get
right.
Inside your soul.
Give me that close-up, Pelham. Get real close. Yeah. Okay, for the podcast, Pelham's
We're
zooming
all
in.
zooming in on Kate's face. Her eyes are locked with Pelham's and everyone else in the audience. And all of your ears are listening to her power take over your mind.
I'm sorry, this is good audio content right here.
Have you guys noticed that the pop filters on these microphones are making this podcast sound like butter?
Thank you. I installed them myself, and I take all the credit for it.
I know you are an audio technophile.
I know about all the moist sounds. And
You're a lot better like improv fantasy stuff than you are technical
bad.
audio equipment
I'm
jokes.
really bad. I had to at one point on the C team, I'm playing this character who is very boat themed. Like she knows a lot about boats, and I didn't know anything about boats. This was way before I worked here. Worked on Ghost of Saltmarsh. I know a lot about boats now, but I had to improv as like a person who knows about boats, who's played by a person who doesn't. So we ended up inventing a lot of terms on the C team. So like the top of a boat's the boat hat. The back of the boat is the boat ass. and the front of the boat is the boat nose. So
when you're working on a boat and you work in the back of the boat, you're like, I'm a boat ass man.
I'm a boat ass man. The only thing that was consistent between reality and fantasy was poop deck for obvious reasons. But I remember when it was announced that I was working on Ghost of Saltmarsh, I got so many comments of people being like, is there going to be a boat hat? I should have worked it in, but I was
really
afraid. I was afraid.
You should design like a special magic item that you can put on your vehicle.
On your boat.
And it's a boat hat. And
we could do customizables. They could be like Adventurers League items. You could get an array of boat hats, and you trade them out, and they give your boat different effects. All right, stay tuned.
As long as one of them has
We're doing live game development here.
Bodie McBoatface as one of the...
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like it. I like it. So before we move on to our segment, let's talk real quick about Rick and Morty versus Dungeons and Dragons. I'm sorry.
That's the comic.
That's Painscape 2. We'll talk to Jim Zub about that. But we also have Dungeons and Dragons versus Rick and Morty, the tabletop role-playing game experience.
Yes. What is the release date on that?
That
November,
is
right?
November 19th.
Okay, yeah. That has been it. I'm actually looking right now at the laid out versions that Emmy, our aforementioned flu-ridden Hawaiian goddess designer, she is just delivered to me the final layouts in PDF for what those will look like.
Ooh.
So I'm reviewing those over the next week, and it is bananas. It's so good. She told me that she was distracted when she was reading the adventure content, which is the part that I wrote a lot of, because she was cracking up and it was amazing. So I was like, yes. Even if it's just fun to read this adventure, then and we've already play tested it and I've gotten a lot of good feedback on it. But there was actually a guy at the Descent when he came through the signing line for the D&D team, and I was sitting at the very end, and he leans down. He was like, "Hey, I got to play test the thing that you worked on," and he brought out this little mini figure of Morty. He's like, I was one of the playtesters on this night. I was like, what? What'd you think? And his play group was with him. Like 2 of his players were with him in line, and they were like, "Dude, it's amazing. We had so much fun. We were cracking up." I was like, "Yay!" Because you never know, right? It's the scariest thing in the world to write something, and you're just like, I hope this is fun and entertaining. But I said this on Twitter once a while back. It's like riding a roller coaster with no safety bar over you. You're just like, I guess this is going to work. I have no idea, because no one's ever done a ridiculous over-the-top adventure like this Rick and Morty one before. So
yeah, it's broken Shelley. She's gone on record as saying like you had to stop a playtest because she could not speak.
We have
anymore.
video of that we haven't released yet. So what we have this clip of us trying to play Dungeons and Dragons, and then like 90 seconds of Shelley weeping. She said she went home that night to take off her makeup and just nothing came off because she had cried it all off during the game.
That's what we want with a box product like this. So it'll have everything you need to play Dungeons and Dragons. It's basically like, it's not a starter set. It's not something that new players should definitely get into, but it has everything you need for that evening, right?
Now, new players can get into it because there's a rule book.
Yeah.
And there's an adventure. There's dice. There's a DM screen. And then there's pre-gen character sheets. So technically, yes, this could be the only thing that you need to play Dungeons and Dragons, but because it is such a weird adventure, it is, I would say, atypically designed with lots of Rick commentary scattered throughout. This should not be taken as indicative of what a traditional game of Dungeons and Dragons plays like, just to keep that in mind. But I think Rick and Morty fans will love it. D&D fans who don't know Rick and Morty might think it's weird, but it's fun. That's the playtest feedback we got. It's like, I had a lot of fun with this. I didn't understand a lot of the references, but I've never watched Rick and Morty. So that's an audience that you might end up being like, this Rick and Morty brand of humor is great. I'd love to know more.
Yeah.
Which is great, because Adult Swim has ordered 70 more episodes of it, which could last as long as 7 seasons. It wasn't just like, we'll renew you guys for another season. It's 70 episodes.
70 episodes?
Yeah.
That's a lot of episodes.
And they're starting their new batch of content. The new season is in November as well. So I think we timed this box set to launch right around the same time.
Which is perfect. I think that's great.
Yeah, I think so too.
November 19th, look for that. We got some more fun stuff coming that we can't talk about just yet, but we will be talking about that very soon for the end of this year.
Like what? Blink,
that thing.
Blink twice if it's the thing. Oh,
right.
That's 3 times.
I know, right? That's because it's an extra thing on top of that thing. Oh my God. We're changing it all up. But I'm very excited about what we've been planning for this last half of 2019, and it's only going to get better as we go forward. Mm-hmm. So speaking of things that only get better with time, do you want to listen to the dulcet tones of Chris Perkins talk about some lore?
Oh, God. I would like nothing more than that.
Let's do that.
All right.
Let's get the bings and bongs happening. I feel like that was a longie. Was that a longie?
I can't shut up. I'm sorry. Please.
No,
please fix
no,
it.
not
Fix
at
it
all.
in post.
Absolutely. We'll cut down everything that Kate said.
Thank you.
We'll just focus on Ryan clapping.
Yeah.
Still not the longest. It was only 17 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think you did one with Jeremy Crawford that was 20.
Oh, that is true. Yes, we covered a lot of ground.
All right. As long as I don't bloviate as hard as that guy. Are we live?
We're live. Dang it. He's watching right now. All right, cool. So we can do our midtro. You ready? That was, I mean, I could listen to Chris bloviate over and over.
Steal my word.
I know, I couldn't help it.
Yeah, no, his lore, I was like, I didn't know that lore, and now I know that lore, and I should have known it. Lore you should know.
Dun, dun, dun.
Is
Everything you should know.
Is there a theme or an icon or a logo for his segment?
We do it's funny because it's from the soundtrack for the Sharn source book from Eberron 3.5. Chris produced a CD of music that came with the book, and we have used that for our segment stuff.
Chris Perkins produced it?
Yeah.
What?
I mean, he didn't make it, but he like hired the guy and worked with him on how it should sound on each of the tracks and each of the cities and stuff.
Why don't we do
which
that
I didn't
more
find
often?
out until Chris Perkins told me that on a Lore You Should Know. He's like, I produced that album. I'm like, I did not know that.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. So yeah, we've used that, and that one has a lot of bings and bongs in it, which is why we
Nice.
say that.
Oh,
yeah,
the bing bong. Time for the bing
it
bongs.
starts with like a bell tolling in the beginning of it.
Got it.
Yeah. But Ryan did your random character generator themes music.
I haven't heard it.
You've never listened to it? What is it with
No, I
my
don't.
co-hosts not listening to
I
it?
don't listen to my own content because honestly,
It feels weird.
it feels like something. This is very inappropriate. I'm not going to say it. It feels like drinking your own pee. I don't know. Like it's
Shelly, I think, would agree with that.
It's weird. It's weird. I don't listen to the C Team. I don't watch the games that I've DM'd. I watched like a minute of them to see like, did my hair look stupid? Nope. All right.
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
I hear you.
I
I hear you.
I can't do it.
It's tough. Yeah, I do it mostly for like, content review purposes to be like, all right, did it work? Did it work? And then I end up just listening to it because I want to know that lore again.
Because you love the sound of your own voice.
I love the sound of Chris Perkins and all the people who are guests on this voice.
I love other people's voices. That's true.
Exactly. All right. So speaking of other people's voices, this is the best segue again. Let's talk to Coley Chani.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's get her in here.
Let's bring her in.
All right.
Golly.
Get in here. Oh, she's probably actually out there and hearing us say that.
She's like, should I?
Should I? I don't know.
Oh my gosh, she's got 15 more minutes, right?
Right.
Okay.
All right. Outro time. Thank you, by the way, Twitch chat, for being with us and, being a witness to how all of our sausage gets made on this podcast.
Our
It's one of my-
sausage. Our sausage.
We're going to cut that. I'll say it again.
No,
sausage.
That stays in.
Sausage. It's kind of like what they serve in prisons to people. It's sausage.
The
Shawshank.
sausage. Oh my God.
I made you do it. And it was still not a good
I
joke to
hated
begin
it.
with.
I hate every second of it.
I'm so sorry, you guys. I love talking to Goldie. She's like a bright light. There's like beams on like all of the community, but also just on what we do here.
She does. And I personally find her incredibly inspiring. It has been so cool to talk to her.
Right?
The times that I've gotten to talk to her in the office and at the Descent and then getting to pick her brain in this interview, just awesome.
Yeah, good stuff all around. More stuff will be coming
Yes.
down the pike. Do you say down the pipe or down the pike?
I know that down the pike is correct, but down the pipe just sounds better.
It sounds better,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. That feels like I know what the rules as written are,
Yep.
but I don't care.
Yep, it's raw. It's raw, but I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
I go rad.
I support this.
Rules as designed.
I dig it. I dig it. We have, as we mentioned in the intro, all the fun stuff coming in the fall. But one thing we didn't mention was the dice set, which I keep like seeing pictures of and being like immediately like, I want that in my life right now more often.
My favorite thing about this dice set is, again, Emmy Tanji,
Yes.
the MVP of this show.
Right.
She designed the living heck out of this thing, and it has this beautiful foil design on the outside. It's all shiny and it's covered in a infernal script. A vernal script. That's better. We're changing it. So it's
Call a
covered,
meeting.
covered in infernal script, which is a real font that we designed that you can decode through. And it's all over the Avernus products. But the best part is that the box opens into two pieces, of course, and the dice are inside. But I think on both sides of it, it's covered in black felt. And it's this heavy-duty cardstock. And so, boom, instant dice tray. And it's just beautiful. So, and it's got all these monster cards and all kinds of other good stuff in there too, which that's all great. I love it. But I'm here for that dice tray. I love like the dual purpose of something like that.
And you get two dice trays out
Yeah,
of it, right?
so
you
one
can
for
share
you,
with
one
your
for a
friends.
friend. Yeah. or roll dice for like the bad behaving dice. They get their own tray.
They go in dice.
Yeah,
tray.
it's like a dice jail. Yeah.
I like that. I like that too. Yeah, and all the fun game element stuff that's in the miscellany part of the Dice and Miscellany set. I didn't realize how, like, it's basically stuff that you can use in your game so easily. Like, there's a trinket list. There's like, encounters you can have in Avernus. All this stuff that was, ancillary to what's in the adventure itself, and it just brings it more to life.
Yeah, I think a lot of the content is in the Descent into Avernus book.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But one of the nice things about the miscellany products is that the user experience is just better to have cards that you can refer to without having to flip back and forth. Even if you bookmark everything you want in the actual source book, having cards that you can just like, here's the monster stat block for this thing. Like that's super, super nice. I've always liked stuff like that.
I dig that too. And that's one of my favorite parts about the Essentials kit as well, is having those tactile sidekick cards has increased the fun value of getting people into what makes the storytelling so fun about that.
Yeah.
It really has.
I agree.
My kids, 8 and 6, latched on to like, they actually have, they have something to look at and physically hold that is the sidekick that they're recruiting into their party. And
That's
it makes
awesome.
everything better.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I dig it. So Essentials Kit is going to be out September 3rd everywhere. You'll be able to get it every store, every place that carries Dungeons & Dragons. So look forward to that. That's actually also very soon. That's less than a month away from when we're recording this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so look for it. I know Target has had it in North America.
And has been sold out.
And has been sold out. It's been hard to find. We totally have gotten people have been like, hey, it's here. I can't find it here. Totally get all that. But
Chris Funk hit me up. December's Chris Funk. He was
Yeah.
like, hey, where's this Essentials kit? I can't find it at Target. I was just imagining him like going Target to Target. This poor soul, this poor rock star can't find his Essentials kit at Target.
yeah,
I was like, too bad. So sad.
he's like
It's very popular.
too bad, so sad. My 6-year-old says that to me
I
all the
haven't said
time.
that since I was 6.
I know. Too bad. So sad. I just imagine Chris Funk like with his like funky hat and his like guitar strapped on his back going into Target being like,
Yeah.
where's the Essentials kit
Yeah,
at?
yeah. That's exactly what I was picturing.
Yeah, exactly. With like this emanation of funk coming off of him.
Yep. He's a funky dude. He smells very nice.
Contrary to popular belief. That's exciting. I can't wait for more people to jump into that. And that is, contrary to the Rick and Morty like starter set, it is specifically designed for getting new players in and getting them on board. And I think it does a really good job of that. So exciting stuff. All right. I think we've talked enough. Have we talked enough?
Yeah,
I think we have.
absolutely.
I think we've
Yes.
gotten everything we need. We just need to sit in this room for 2 more hours and talk more. Before we do that, let's investigate the top of this tunnel because it's got this loose rock. Do you see?
I do.
What's happening up there?
What's going on there?
I don't know.
All right. Do you
gonna-
want to get up there?
I think all right. You want to give me a boost?
Yeah, I'll boost you up.
All right. Ready?
Ready.
1, 2, 3. Ah, the pop filter.
Oh my gosh.
We're
There's
dead.
a lot more rocks up there than I thought. Greg's dead. He died. It's just me now. Welcome to Solo Dragon Talk. I'm your host, Shelly Mazanoble. I'm here to get a tattoo.
Good stuff.
Yep.
Awesome. I had to go full on once it started coming down
Do you
the pipe.
do that every week?
Sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah. I really wanted to test what it'd sound like with the pop filter on.
Yeah?
Because usually it just ends up having that nice like clicky click click sound, but I don't think it worked as
No.
much with the pop filter.
It's a boulder filter too. Way to go, Ryan.
How are we gonna get killed at the end of each episode now?
Oh, was I supposed to die too?
That's why I like that you did though, because you're like, all right, now I'm here, I'm taking over,
I got a deck save. I took half damage.
and you're still
alive.
alive, still alive. All right, we're gonna take a short break, reset, get all of the dice that I just casually spilled, and
Yeah.
the Coley Chani will step on as we're
Yeah.
walking around. I know I have a problem. I have a problem
That's
with
why we
pronouncing
have
names.
Pelham. Pelham cleans up all our crap after every episode.
Is that what happens?
Yeah.
Oh,
He does.
I
He
thought it was
does.
someone else that came in and
No.
did that. Thanks, Pelham.
Thanks, Pelham.
Yay! Praise Pelham. All right, so we'll be back in just a couple minutes getting set up, and then we'll be back to interview Coley Chani.
Stick around.
Yay!